Alright, what's going on, guys? Today is July 20th. Welcome to the podcast. For all of you who are new, I'm putting this on YouTube. So all my YouTube followers who aren't aware of the podcast, I'm on Anchor. It's or anchor.fm/Buck31, Pocket Cast, Cast R3, Apple Podcasts, shudsfitness, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, and Breaker. Also, I'm on Instagram, Twitter at shudsfitness, right? So I was listening to something today. I listen to a lot of talk radio and podcasts like Tidal, Breakfast Club, all that type of stuff. And also remember, the people that I have on and the views that we have are ours. Basically, we have experience in those fields that we talk about, and we really don't give a fuck about what y'all think. So here we go. Also, starting Leaf for Vets, right? The VA is working on helping all the veterans getting programs established so we can start getting marijuana as far as treatment for PTSD and all that type of stuff. Because vets like myself and you, if you are a vet, the whole generation smokes now, and everyone knows that it's okay and it's not a gateway drug. So me, some of my clients, I prescribe marijuana to them to help with weight loss, because in your body you have a chemical called ghrelin, and then in THC there is something called in marijuana there's THC. So you have THC that mixes with ghrelin, and basically that helps speed up metabolism. So when you look at artists like Snoop, Wiz Khalifa, 2 Chainz, and people say, well, how do they stay skinny for so long or whatever? But the main thing is that some people say that, well, when I eat, this happens, or I go to sleep or whatever. Yes, that's true, because that's your reaction to that strain of marijuana that you had. So it's just like alcohol. Some people fight on dark liquor. Some people like to fuck on dark liquor. Some people fight on clear, or some people go to sleep or mess with their stomach. Whatever it is, the same thing with marijuana. You just got to find your strain that works for you. So I've had marijuana or weed. Sometimes when I smoke it, I'll fucking just start yawning. My eyes get glossy, I'll get sleepy and stuff like that. That was just the strain that I was smoking. But anyway, we're going to talk Donkey of the Day. So the Donkey of the Day they gave was Nakeeb's Earl Campbell. He was a young rapper out of Dallas. He's the alleged leader of the YB Stretch Gang in Dallas. And these were, I looked into it, and his crimes that he wasn't convicted of, but was a suspect in 7 murders, right? But recently he was a suspect in an armed robbery where a man was shot 8 times in his sleep, right? And he pled guilty to cocaine distribution, which is a max of 6-year sentence. The judge fucked around and gave this fool 12 years. So the reason why the judge gave him 12 years is because he's also a rapper. And even though he don't have no past criminal convictions and all this other type of stuff, him being a suspect and tied to these other things, and him rapping about murders and stuff like that, that's how they tied him to it, because he was describing stuff that was at the scene and so on and so forth. Even though he got off, he basically told on himself. So a couple podcasts ago, I said, whatever you say in public, you will always leave room for somebody to comment or dissect, even with me right now. Smoking and cursing and all that. And yes, I have kids and so on and so forth, but everyone in my family knows my position. Like, I'm retired out the military. Like, I have the right to smoke. Like, I'm my own boss. I can podcast and talk shit and whatever, and I don't have to answer to anybody. So in this situation, whatever you say in public or do, somebody is always watching. So if you're a young guy flashing money and all that other type of stuff, yeah, that's cool and dandy, but you got to think about what message you're sending out there. So now it's like I'll give you an example. when I was in Germany, I was a private, and like my first 4 months there, I had like maybe 6 or 7 different cars, and I wasn't selling drugs or anything like that. How I was acquiring cars were, I always had a thing for shoes and cars. So basically, when I got to Germany, you can get BMWs and Mercedes for like 600-700 euros, right? So the reason why they're so cheap is because you're in Germany, right? So to them, fucking BMW Mercedes is like an old ass Ford to us, or an old ass Chevy. You know what I mean? So they're just everywhere. Like they're at fucking junkyards left and right. You can get them for. I bought my first Mercedes 1985 190E for $2,000, right? So then one of my partners named Shu, he had some issues going on with his family, so he ended up getting compassion reassignment and getting sent back to the States. Well, he ended up having 2 cars, and at the time, our unit was on rotation, going on a deployment, and people were coming back. So me just getting to the unit, I wasn't there enough to get all the training to go on that deployment, right? So my boy, Jimmy Bottoms, who was on the podcast, he went on that deployment, and basically, everybody had to get rid of their car, do a power of attorney, or this, that, and the third. So since I was the new one, the new soldier, but I was down and cool with everybody, people let me get their car. So since we're in Germany, you get cola and all this extra money, but you got to think, all these people left to go to Afghanistan, they getting all this tax-free money. When they come back, they don't want their old ass car. But we all in the military, we all have decent cars. So when they came back, they didn't want it, so they sold me their car for little or nothing. So I would buy the car and fuck around and flip the car, which was all legal. So then higher up, like my first sergeant and all that, all them and my CO, they would be checking me, and it was like, because I had few tattoos then, but me being from Richmond and being over there, it kind of looked like I was selling drugs and all that type of stuff because it was that era. But I joined the military to get away from that. So I knew a lot of people that were involved in certain things, but I never partook in those things. That's why I went to the military. But I knew about the street life. So me getting over there, I'm still all about making a dollar. So if I got to get in front of a camera and talk and get the expensive microphone and the camera and the lights and all this to convey a message to let people know, hey, even though you fuck up, you can still do better. I was in the exact same situation. So back to the donkey of the day. Let's listen to his lyrics, and basically he just told on himself.
Your brother ain't made. Don't come to see Coco, don't come to LaVay. Big ol' Duke make your body start ache. Papa will go like bazookas. Hot up 10, hit his face like a hookah. I think I'ma so you know they'll do you. High five, and you know it get fooled. We up the block and we back in the move. Snap tag and get hit with the move. Time sad something we turn the news. AR-15 don't really do you. So now niggas be telling your shoes. Sitting in the back and they clutching his toolie. White people can't really turn to a coochie. Shout out to Yannick when he turned to a move. Gang!
I don't know what I just heard. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I just heard.
So if you're trying to lose weight and you're 180 pounds, male or female, 180 times 10, 1800. That's how many calories you should eat a day. Oh, that's a lot, and so on and so forth, right? Don't want to hear it, because if you want to do it, then you have to do the work. You're not just going to wake up one day and 10 pounds are going to be off your body. No, you have to get up and do certain things. And the first thing is what you're putting in your body. So if you're eating ho-hos and Swiss cake rolls and cheese and all that other shit, of course you're not going to you're going to overeat and you're going to gain weight, or you're going to stay the same. You have to make changes to make you better. No one else is going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. A lot, and basically I normally catch a lot of fish, but then recently I haven't been catching any fish, and the reason being is because catfish are bottom feeders, and basically you want to keep your bait on the bottom, but you don't want it to be with being held down by a weight. You want it to be free. So basically, when you tie your line, you want to have your weight here, and you want to have your leader with your bait on the end, like 24 inches. So the catfish will grab the bait and just take off. And you having a circle hook, the hook will turn in his mouth and snag, right? So it sounds like, oh, well, if you know all that, why haven't you been catching fish? Because I went away from something called the slip rig, right? So the way I was fishing, I was using the man-made leaders that you can go to the fishing store and you can just put your hook on both of them and then your weight, and you just cast it out there and you just wait. Well, the problem with that is that you don't have no freedom in the hook. You got to have aggressive fish just to bite it and get hooked. You know what I mean? But with the slip rig, it's more natural. So me being in Colorado and Texas and not fishing for a few years, and now being back in Virginia and fishing on Fort Eustis and the James River and all these other places, I kind of went away from what I naturally knew. So I had to reread and figure it out and look at the current and all that type of stuff. So now I had the fish fry yesterday for my birthday, and basically I caught them all with a slip rig. So the reason why I'm telling y'all is, if you're having problems catching catfish, go to a slip rig, 6-aught circle hook, and when you bait your bunker or your cut bait or whatever, do not bait it straight. Bait it at an angle, because you don't want your bait to spin around and foul hook itself. You know what I mean? Bow. But that's all I got for today. Thank you all for listening. I'm your host, Buck. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. I'm going to do very, very little editing in my YouTube videos because I've been doing it for a while. And it's very time consuming. I'm very, very busy. So I'm going to try to make it look nice and pretty for you all. But at this point, it's all about getting you all the info instead of the presentation. You know what I mean? The info and the message is more important to me than making it all glitz and glamorous. Y'all just going to get it raw, real, and uncut from my point of view, and everyone else's. Make sure if you leave a comment below and let me know what you'd like to see or what we could talk about in the future. Leaf for Vets.
Every week, keep on saying to her, oh, you might join us. Pull up and I'm famous. Party like